Now, this is our English lecture of Standard 8. In that, we learned the chapter number 1 in the previous section. Now, moving further to the chapter 1. In the last section, I write down the question answer. I hope you all written that question in your fair book. Open your book. Okay, page number 14. In the last lecture, we completed the comprehension check question answer. Okay, so now third part of this lesson, third story. Pay attention. Open your book, page number 14. I folded the letter again. Who folded? Who folded the letter? Jim. I folded the letter again and slipped it carefully back into its envelope. I kept awake all night. By morning, I knew what I had to do. By morning, I knew what I had to do. I drove into the Bridport. Just a few miles away. I asked the boy walking his dog where Copper Beaches was. I asked the boy walking his dog where Copper Beaches was. House number 12 turned out to be nothing but a burned out cell. New words, burned out. It means burned out. It means destroyed by fire. It is called the burned out, destroyed by the fire. The roof gaping. The windows boarded up. It means the covered with the wooden board. Boarded up. Covered with wooden boards. Covered with wooden boards. It is called the boarded up. I knocked at the house next door. And asked if anyone knew the whereabouts of Mrs. Macpherson's. What they asked? They asked if anyone knew the whereabouts of Mrs. Macpherson's. Oh, yes, said the old man. Who say old man? In his slippers. He knew her well. A lovely old lady, he told me. A lovely old lady told me. A bit muddle-headed, it means the confused. Muddle-headed, it means confused. means confused. But at her age, she was entitled to be, wasn't she? But at her age, she was entitled to me, wasn't she? 101 years old. The old lady was the 101 years old. She had been in the house when it caught fire. She had been in the house when it caught fire. No one really knew how the fire had started. No one really knew how the fire had started. But it could well have been candles. But it could well have been candles. She used candles rather than electricity. She used candles rather than the electricity because she always thought electricity was too expensive. Why? Because she thought electricity was too expensive. So she used the candles rather than the electricity. The firemen had got her out just in time. She was in a nursing home. She was in a nursing home. He told me, Burlington House? What? He told me, Burlington House on the Dorchester Road, on the other side of the town. On the other side of the town. Now, comprehension check question answer. That two question is given. Write down this new word, then I'll write you the question answer. Okay, done. The first question is, why did the author go to the breed port? Comprehension check thought that first question, why did the author go to breed port? Answer is the author went to breed port to meet Mrs. Jim McPherson's Jim McPherson and deliver Jim's letter to her. Now moving further to the second question, how old was Mrs. McPherson at the time when the author visited her. She was in a nursing home. Now only we understand that. She was in a nursing home. Write down this. Done? Okay. Now moving further. I found Burlington House nursing home easily enough. Author found Burlington House nursing home easily enough. There were paper chains up in the hallway and a lighted Christmas tree stood in the corner with lopsided angle. Lopsided, it means the crooked. Here I write it down. New words. Lopsided. It means crooked. Lopsided means crooked. I found Burlington House nursing home easily enough. There were paper chains up in the hallway and a lighted Christmas tree stood in the corner with the lopsided angle, with the crooked angle on top. I said I was a friend come to visit Mrs. McPherson's to bring her a Christmas present. The author said, I was a friend came to visit Mrs. McPherson's to bring her a Christmas present. I could see through into the dining room. I could see through into the dining room where everyone was wearing a pepper hat and singing. The matron had a hat on too and seemed happy enough to see me. The matron had a hat on too and seemed happy enough to see me. She even offered me a mince pie. She walked me along the corridor. She walked me along the corridor. Mrs. McPherson is not in with the others. Mrs. McPherson is not in with the others. She told me she was rather confused today, so we thought it best if she had a good rest. Mrs. McPherson is not in with the others. She told me she was rather confused today, So we thought it best. So we thought it best if she had a good rest. She has no family, you know. She has no family. No one visits. No one visits. So I am sure she will be only too pleased to see you. So I am sure she will be only too pleased to see you. She took me into a conservatory with wicker chairs. Wicker chairs you can see in the pictures. There is a wicker chairs and potted plants all around and left me. And potted plant all around and left me. The old lady was sitting in a wheelchair, her hand folded in her lap. The old lady was sitting in a wheelchair, her hands folded in her lap. She had silver white hair pinned into a wispy bun. She had silver white hair pinned into a wispy bun. Wispy means thin one. Wispy. It means thin. She was gazing out the garden. She was gazing out the garden. Hello, I said. Hello, I said. She turned and looked up at me vacantly. She turned and looked up at me. Happy Christmas, Connie. What? She said. Happy Christmas, Connie. I went on. I found this. I think it's yours. I think it's yours. As I was speaking, her eyes never left my face. As I was speaking, her eyes and never left my face. I opened the tin box. And gave it to her and gave it to the Jim McPhersons. That was the moment her eyes lit up. Lit up means lit up. Lit up means became bright. Became bright with happiness. Became bright with the happiness. It is called the lit up. That was the moment her eyes lit up with recognition and her face became spots. Spots. It means glow of happiness. Glow of happiness spread over all over her face. Suffused with a sudden glow of happiness. It means glow of happiness spread all over her face. I explained about the desk. About how I had found it, about how I had found the letter. But I don't think she was listening. For a while, turned the page. For a while she said nothing. For a while she said nothing, but stroked the letter. Tenderly with her fingertip. With her fingertips. For a while she said nothing, but stroked the letter tenderly with her fingertip. Suddenly she reached out and took my hand. Suddenly she reached out and took my hand. Her eyes were filled with tears. Her eyes filled with tears. You told me you had come home by Christmas, dearest. What she said? You told me you had come home by Christmas, dearest. She said, and here you are, the best Christmas present in the world. Here you are, the best Christmas present in the world. Come closer. Jim, dear, sit down. What she said? Come closer, Jim. Sit down. I sat down beside her. I sat down. It means author sat down beside the Jim McPherson's and she kissed my cheeks. I read your letter so often. I wanted to hear your voice in my head. It always made me feel you were with me. And now you are. Now you are back. You can read it to me yourself. Would you do that for me? Jim, dear, I just want to hear your voice again. I had loved that so much, and then perhaps we will have some tea. I have made you a nice Christmas cake, marzipan all around. I know how much you love marzipan. Marzipan, it means the covered with once again I am repeating. I sat down beside her. See, author sat down beside her and she kissed my cheeks. I read your letters so often, Jim, every day. I want to hear your voice in my head. It always made me feel you were with me, and now you are. Now you are back. You can read it to me yourself. Would you do that for me, Jim dear? I just want to hear your voice again. I had loved that so much. And then perhaps we will have some tea. I have made you a nice Christmas cake, marzipan all around. I know how much you love marzipan. Right? This paragraph is written in the letter. Author read it, right? Marzipan means sweet covering on a cake. Upper layer of the cake made from the sugar and the eggs. So now next comprehension check, question answer. The first question is, who did Gunny McPherson think her visitor was? Who did Gunny think her visitor was? visitor or on husband or on husband, that is Eng.Med person. The second question is, which sentence in the text shows that the visitor did visitor did not try hide his identity. Hide his identity. That sentence is I sat down beside her. Yes, he did in response. Did in response to her request. To her request, and the request was made to Jim. Was made to Jim, not the author. If the writer wanted to reveal his identity. Reveal means hide identity. This was the moment. This was the moment but you let it pass. You let it pass. But he let it pass. See, who did Connie Macpherson think her visitor was? Connie thought that the visitor was her own husband, that is Mr. Jim Macpherson. Which sentence in the text shows that visitors did not try to hide his identity? That sentence, I sat down beside her. This he did in response to her request, and the request was made to Jim, not the author. If the writer wanted to reveal his identity, this was the moment, but he let it pass. Write down these two questions in your book. here I completed the chapter 1. If you have any doubt regarding this chapter, you can ask me in a group, okay? Those who have doubt, you can ask, okay? And here I write it down all the question answers. So you have to write it in your fact book, okay? Clear everyone? Okay. Write it down this in your notebook also, okay? This is your homework. You have to see me in the homework group. Okay? I'll check whether you are right or not. Okay? So, here we completed our first chapter and the next lecture we will start the poem. Okay? So, till then, bye students and take care.